Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. The South China Sea has long been one of the most volatile regions in the world, a place where international waters, territorial claims, and military power collide. Recently, a U.S. Navy helicopter entered this contested space, and China's reaction was both immediate and intense, creating a situation that could have easily spiraled out of control. What began as a routine reconnaissance flight quickly became an incident that captured the attention of governments and analysts worldwide. This is the story of how a single helicopter flight tested the nerves of two superpowers and revealed just how fragile stability in the region has become. The South China Sea stretches over 1.3 million square miles and serves as a critical route for international shipping. Around one-third of the world's maritime trade passes through these waters every year, carrying goods valued as trillions of dollars. Beneath its surface lie massive reserves of oil and natural gas, as well as rich fishing grounds. These factors make the South China Sea one of the most strategically significant and contested areas in the world. Several nations claim portions of it, including Vietnam, the Philippines, Malaysia, Brunei, and China, with the latter asserting the largest and most controversial claims through the so-called Nine-Dash Line. The United States, while not a claimant, maintains a consistent presence in the area to uphold freedom of navigation and deter what it sees as excessive territorial assertions. The helicopter in question, an MH-60 Seahawk, took off from the deck of a U.S. Navy guided missile destroyer on a routine patrol. Its mission was to conduct surveillance in international airspace, gathering intelligence on shipping traffic and monitoring regional activity. Within minutes of taking off, Chinese radar detected the aircraft. Ground controllers issued repeated radio warnings, urging the helicopter to leave what China claimed as sovereign airspace. The U.S. crew, operating under international law, maintained their course while documenting the encounter. As the helicopter approached the contested area near the Parcel Islands, two Chinese J-11 fighter jets were scrambled from Woody Island. These aircraft moved at supersonic speeds to intercept the American helicopter. The U.S. crew reported the jets approaching their position, remaining calm while assessing the risk. The tension was palpable as both sides navigated a delicate dance in the skies, each wary of a misstep that could lead to disaster. The Chinese jets closed to dangerously close proximity, one even crossing the helicopter's nose, forcing the crew to stabilize the aircraft amidst turbulence. This maneuver, captured by the helicopter's instruments, would later be cited in international discussions as a reckless and provocative action. The Pentagon responded swiftly, lodging a formal complaint against China, accusing its military of unsafe and unprofessional conduct. Beijing, however, defended its actions, claiming the helicopter had violated Chinese sovereignty. The incident highlighted the starkly different perspectives on what constitutes legitimate international operations and what is considered encroachment. Both sides engaged in a high-stakes display of military power, each testing the limits of the other while attempting to avoid escalation into open conflict. In Washington, military planners reviewed the flight and considered possible adjustments to protocols for operating in contested areas. Analysts stressed that such encounters, while seemingly minor, carry enormous risks. A single miscalculation, whether a mechanical issue, a sudden weather change, or a pilot's error, could have catastrophic consequences. In Beijing, military leaders similarly evaluated the incident, recognizing both the need to assert territorial claims and the danger of overstepping into an unintended confrontation. The South China Sea incident was far from isolated. Over the past decade, China has invested heavily in artificial island construction and military infrastructure. Reefs and shoals have been transformed into bases with runways, radar systems, missile batteries, and logistical facilities. These outposts allow China to project power deep into the Pacific, challenging the influence of the United States and its allies. In response, the U.S. has increased its freedom of navigation operations, sending warships and aircraft into contested areas to signal that international waters remain open. Each encounter raises the stakes, with the potential for misinterpretation and escalation. The incident also carried significant symbolic weight. For China, intercepting the U.S. helicopter demonstrated military capability and resolve. For the United States, maintaining presence and completing the mission signaled commitment to international law and regional stability. The confrontation played out not only in the skies above the South China Sea but also in global media and diplomatic channels, where both nations sought to control the narrative. Following the incident, satellite imagery showed Chinese warships repositioning near the Parcel Islands, while U.S. forces increased patrols in response. Analysts emphasize that these movements were not simply routine maneuvers but deliberate signaling. The region had become a chessboard where both sides tested each other's intentions and reactions, carefully measuring each step to avoid direct conflict. The risk inherent in these encounters is compounded by the complex geography of the South China Sea. Numerous islands, reefs, and shoals create narrow corridors where aircraft and ships operate in close proximity. Mistakes are amplified, and the margin for error is minimal. The helicopter incident serves as a reminder that in modern military operations, even a single aircraft can trigger a chain of events with global consequences. Diplomats worked tirelessly in the aftermath to de-escalate tensions. Messages between Washington and Beijing emphasized the need for restraint and adherence to international law. At the same time, military planners reviewed rules,